a civil engineer.
My job title is Control Systems Engineer.
I graduated with a degree in mechanical engineering.
I'm a mechanical design engineer.
So I work as a process engineer.
I'm a project engineer.
I'm a mechanical engineer.
Software engineers.
Yeah, software engineer for me as well.
I'm a software engineer as well.
So I'm a cybersecurity engineer.
So I'm a trainee manufacturing engineer.
I am a chartered mechanical engineer by trade, but I'm managing director now of an engineering firm.
I'm a mechanical engineer.
So I don't really think I knew when I was at school exactly what I wanted to be.
I always had like an interest in like maths and STEM subjects when I was growing up. When I was like deciding of what I wanted to do, I didn't really want to go and study a straight maths degree or straight chemistry degree. So I kind of arrived on engineering as a really good way to sort of be able to put into practice all these sort of subjects which I had an interest in.
I always found myself academically not the best at school, but I always found the hands-on side of it very interesting, and I was fortunate enough to be very good at it as well.
It was when I was kind of about 17, 18, mechanical engineering at university seemed quite interesting. Again, it was the car route, and I just decided to see where it would take me.
My earliest memories of engineering is actually, to be honest with you, it's probably watching my dad fix his car, because them days you used to fix your own cars, and also your bike. You literally had to work. If you had your bike broke, you had to do it yourself.
I have vivid memories of my father rewiring the house and me crawling underneath the floorboards with cables, which seemed really exciting at the time.
It was just playing with things. I liked playing with things like Meccano, Lego. I liked taking things apart that were broken, so alarm clocks that were bust.
And then, that would develop. Maybe you had like a little motorbike, you would have to fix that. And then people would often come to me to get a lot of their broken things fixed.
My first experience is really with Lego. Lego kind of started it all off.
I think for me it was going to the quayside in Newcastle and seeing the bridges there.
Teenage Nathan was good, studied hard and had a good interest in aviation, joining the Royal Air Force Air Cadets, which kind of spurred that on.
And I had two really good chemistry and science teachers at school, so they were a good positive influence.
But I always had loads of other things going on, playing sports, wanting to like go meet up with your friends and everything. So I suppose it's always trying to find the right balance between everything.
They'd say I was a joy to teach and things like that, but in reality I enjoyed their lessons and learnt a lot from them.
And I think one of the things that kind of defined my career is that engineering isn't necessarily just about making stuff, but actually it's leading teams, it's solving problems.
As an engineer, I don't think at school I'd actually met any engineers as such like that.
Professor Ian Fells was the only person on TV. Nowadays, there's so much more for kids to see.
Not that I can remember, but there are a few engineers in my family and people who've worked in engineering companies, so I do get a bit of knowledge from them.
Well, the first opportunity was at university, pretty much.
I mean, engineering is all around you everywhere you go, so you don't have to you don't have to physically meet an engineer to get a taste of engineering. You just have to go to, the likes of, railways and museums and, cars on the street.
Day to day, I use maths and physics a lot, both of them being STEM subjects, and they're something that you need if you want to be an engineer or in the engineering industry. Maths is the key to everything.
To be honest with you, the biggest thing is probably the communication skills I learned at school.
Arts engineers, best engineers are able to communicate via drawings, sketch something down quickly.
I think the subjects that I use the most today are probably the likes of the English, maths, actually history and geography as well come in very handy as well.
I did use the maths that you do. I did use trigonometry, and yet I remember being a student, and I can vividly remember standing in my school corridor talking to another friend about trigonometry and saying, when are we ever going to use this?
You will never know when a certain irrelevant bit of information will come in useful.
I think what school and university gives you is just a base and also a way of thinking that's really, really helpful.
It's like having a toolbox. Yeah, you have a toolbox, it's full of tools. You've probably got your favourite hammer and spanner. Well, as an engineer, your tools are in here. So you know when to use them, how to use them, and when you need to use them. The North East has always been a big player in engineering.
It's a growing hub for technology now, especially software engineering in Newcastle and in the further northeast.
But also important for progressing technology and advancing humankind to become better and better.
So we need now to get more young people into engineering so they can all have careers to look forward to.
It's trying to get the next generation ready and able to commit to the future of the area.
Getting younger children and younger people interested in engineering is vital.
Because we don't have the right engineering skills, and yet there is still engineering. We still need people to come up with some great ideas or just get the day-to-day things like substations built, because otherwise you won't have your electricity for your iPads and your iPhones and your TVs.
Bring it on.
Bring it on.
Bring it on.
Bring it
on!
Bring it on!
Bring it on.
Bring it on!
Bring it on. Bring it on.
Bring it on.
Bring it on.
So come on everyone, let's bring it on!